Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. McHenry.
I thank my colleague for yielding, and I am in favor of the underlying bill and the rule. When I talk to small business owners in my district in western North Carolina, I hear very clearly that regulations and regulatory uncertainty is in fact costing jobs. It's costing our economy, and it's making sure that unemployment remains high, which is an absurd policy coming out of Washington. Well, I know from my small business owners that regulations cost jobs. Even the Small Business Administration here in Washington, D.C., says that federal regulations cost $1.75 billion per year. That costs our economy. I'm sorry, let me restate that. It's $1.75 trillion a year. That is a major impact on our job creators. We know that regulations cost jobs. Now, some politicians in Washington that don't understand business think that their regulations create jobs. Well, they're right. They create federal jobs. They create more government employees. They create more people creating more paperwork for those that are trying to move our economy forward. We need to relieve our small businesses of this regulatory hurdle and the challenges that they face. The Obama administration admitted 1 year ago at this time that they had over 4,000 regulations that they were trying to put in place actively. Over 200 of these regulations cost $100 million or more on the economy, 7 of which will cost $1 billion, a negative impact of $1 billion. These regulations, even the Obama administration admits, cost the economy money. And if they cost the economy money, they're costing jobs. This is the wrong approach, this regulatory approach. What we need to say is if politicians in Washington think these regulations are in fact good, they need to proactively vote on them. When I go home and talk to small business owners, they wonder how these regulations actually go into place. It's faceless bureaucrats working behind desks in Washington that put them in place, and their elected officials here in Washington may be able to go home and say they're against them, but they've never had to cast a vote. What the REINS Act does is say that the elected officials that come to Washington to represent their folks at home need to proactively put their stamp of approval or disapproval on these regulations. That way we can get this economy going again. That's what we need to be about, and I hope that we can have bipartisan support on this very important piece of legislation, the REINS Act. I urge my colleagues to vote for it, and I yield back the balance of my time.